Hello and welcome. I am really glad that you're here. My name is Hannah, and this channel is called Quietly Becoming. Before I tell you what this space is about, I want to tell you what it isn't. This is not a place for urgency. It's not a place for blame. And it's not a place where healing is treated like a performance or a deadline. Quietly becoming exists because so many people are doing the hardest work of their lives in silence, leaving harmful relationships, questioning long-held patterns, and trying to trust themselves again. For a long time, I believed that love required endurance, that being understanding meant staying quiet, that if I could just explain myself better, regulate myself more, or love more patiently, relationships would become safe. Some of those beliefs came from my upbringing. Some came from romantic relationships that slowly taught me to doubt my own perceptions. And some came from a deep misunderstanding of what compassion actually requires. I've made many mistakes along the way. I ignored my body when it tried to warn me. I confused emotional control with emotional maturity. I believed insight could replace boundaries, and I stayed in dynamics far longer than was healthy. Not because I didn't know something was wrong, but because leaving felt like abandonment. What changed my life wasn't anger, it was clarity. I began to understand trauma bonding, narcissistic patterns, nervous system responses, and most importantly, the ways early conditioning shapes the relationships we choose later on. That understanding didn't make me bitter. It made me honest. This channel is where I share what I've learned personally, psychologically, and gently about emotional abuse, self-betrayal, and the slow work of healing. You won't find diagnoses used as weapons here. You won't be told, just leave. You won't be rushed into becoming someone else. Instead, we'll talk about patterns. We'll talk about why leaving is hard. We'll talk about why calm can feel unfamiliar after so much chaos. We'll also talk about rebuilding trust with yourself after you've had to override your instincts for survival. This space is for people who are still kind, for people who are still empathetic, for people who are still loving, and who are learning often for the first time that those qualities don't require self-sacrifice. If you've ever felt like you were too much for wanting clarity or not enough for needing safety, you belong here. You're allowed to take this at your own pace. You're allowed to pause, reflect, or return later. Thank you for being here. This is Quietly Becoming.